Right. Point 4, staff. Now, this is going to be a controversial one, but bear with me. If you're watching so far, you should have learned a lot because we're just getting fucking started. We have 100 business points to go through. We're on number fucking 3. Number 4, family and friends are actually the best staff you can possibly get. Now, people say don't mix friends with business, don't mix family with business. Can you clean my board? Sit here and wipe it, please. Don't mix friends with business. Get that shit off. Don't mix friends with business. Don't mix family with business. That's a lie. So the reason people say this is because people are dickheads and they can't get along with anyone. They can't get along with anybody long enough to make any money. But I guarantee you have family members right this second who could make you money. I guarantee you have a 15-year-old niece, nephew, cousin, brother, whoever, who knows more about computers than you do. I guarantee there's a 15-year-old out there with nothing better to do who knows more about Photoshop than you do right now. His stupid ass needs a job. So you can start a company right now. You can call up all your cousins. One of my cousins works for me. My brother works for me. One of your cousins, nieces, nephews, whatever, some 15, 16-year-old who's in school and bored and say, we're starting a company. I'm going to make you a director. You're going to have 10% of the business. You're going to do everything I say. And by the time you're 20, you're going to be rich. Not bad. 7 out of 10. You're going to be rich. And he'll come start doing work for you. Now, if he won't listen to you, well, then I don't know. If you can't tell a 15-year-old to do, then you're a dickhead. But me, I always have people I can call on. There must be younger people. You don't need some old person. You need young people. And the reason for this is because young people have nothing to lose. If you hire a 30-year-old man, he has to pay his rent. He hasn't got time to waste. He has rent to pay. He has a car payment to pay, whatever. A 15-year-old, he has nothing. He only doesn't play video games. So if the business fails, who cares? He has nothing to lose. So why don't you utilize him? You must have friends or family members who are young enough in a position that they have time to waste. Don't hire people who can't afford to not pay their rent. Hire people who live for free. If you have friends and they have a kid, go to your friends and say, your kid's 15, he's good with computers. Yeah, I'm thinking of starting a company. I'm thinking of letting him work with me for free at the beginning, see if he's good, and if he's good, I'll start paying him. They'll love that. They'll love the idea of their son or daughter getting some enterprising work. Yeah, good idea. What's the business name? Bang! There are free, effectively free workers everywhere. And if they're not free, they're extremely cheap. And they're everywhere. You just don't utilize them. So now, let's think of you own a website business. I don't fucking know website business. Let's say you don't know, like you're me. I don't know anything about building websites. You want to start a website company. It's oversaturated. I wouldn't recommend it, but let's say you start one. You go and you find a 15-year-old, and you tell his ass to learn how to make websites. You convince him it's a good idea, and then you start taking money and you give it to the 15-year-old. You're a middleman now. A 15-year-old works for free. You can do websites cheap now. You can do websites for $300. I'll do an entire website for $300. Half now, half when it's done. People are like, $300 for a website? Yeah. $150 now after it's done. Take $150, give $50 to the 15-year-old, tell him when he's done, he gets another $50. $100 for him, $200 for you, you ain't done shit, boom, wham, bam, done. He can even start your company website for advertising at the beginning for free. Bang, you have free workers out there. Find young people, because young people can afford to work for fucking nothing. You try to find members of staff that have mortgages and fucking pension plans, that's expensive. The best staff you can find are young people. And in most cases, young people know more than the old people anyway, especially about technology and stuff. Young people are fantastic. I love hiring 18, 19-year-old kids. They know fucking more than me about fucking TikTok, Instagram, all the blah, blah, all the shit that's big. They know more than me. I'm 33, I'm not even old. These kids are sitting there going, we need to do this and this and this. I'm like, go then. They're like, how long is it going to take? They're like, a week. I said, no, it's going to be ready tomorrow. Tomorrow, show me it. Done. Don't piss me off. Go. Speed, back to lesson 1. Bang. So you already have workers for your business. You already have them. You just don't fucking use them because you're lazy. So contact them right now. Let's get started.
I apologize for the change of face, but Andrew has invited me here to talk about another very important point when it comes to making money, which is work with family when possible. That's why I'm here. Now, it's very easy for people like me and Andrew to tell you to work just with family members because we're two brothers and we're exceptionally close, but we actually learned this from other people. Me and Andrew have always been best friends, but we used to fight and argue when we were growing up, and when we were 16, 17, we worked in completely different, let's call it fields. I mean, we worked different jobs. We weren't actively putting our resources together and trying to make money. We had some friends who were Pakistani guys from the United Kingdom, and they taught us a very important lesson. One of our friends, I won't say his name, but he had a Ferrari and he used to drive it around our hometown. And we were very impressed, and we said, well, how do you have this Ferrari? Because he was only a lawyer, a junior lawyer, making maybe £50,000 a year. A good income, but not a Ferrari income. And he told us, he said, you English people, you white people, actually, he said, mixed race, have it all wrong. I have 6 brothers, and what me and my brothers do is this. One of us is a doctor, one's a dentist, one's a lawyer, one's an architect. We're all in different fields. What we do is we live in the same house. Our wives live with us. Our wives cook the meals and look after our children. And we pool all of our money together. That way we own the house instead of renting 6 other houses. I thought, oh, that's pretty clever. And what about the Ferrari? They said, well, a Ferrari finance payment is £2,000 a month, more than me on my own. However, I don't drive the car all the time. So me and all of my brothers, we bought these finance agreements for the Ferrari, our Range Rover, and our Rolls Royce. And we all drive them whenever we want. I thought, wow, that is smart. That's a conversation that got me and Andrew thinking at a very young age. From that point on, whenever we were renting a small apartment, we'd rent it together rather than pay 2 separate rents. Property prices in England were still too expensive for us to buy. But when we worked together, when we were looking at making money, we thought, how can we do this together? And everything from there went into a single pot. Up until this day, we're multimillionaires. We share bank accounts. I don't know what's in whose account, under what name, which house, which car is owned by who. I mean, I know on paper, but it doesn't matter because everything is collectively owned. Now it doesn't matter so much. Me or Andrew could go our separate ways, buy our own family home and have 3 supercars each if we wanted to, but we don't. You see, when we were much younger, our first ever supercar was an Aston Martin Vantage. An old one, cost us £65,000 secondhand. It wasn't the most amazing car, but we paid for it, the both of us. That way we had a supercar for both of us to use. The money we saved, we put into business, the other activities we were doing, and that helped us propel forward to the point we're at now. So sure, it'd be easy to divide resources and split now, but why? Am I going to reach the next level faster if I do that? No. So now I live in a 7-bedroom house. My driveway is full. It's got 6 cars on it. I actually need to extend it now because Andrew won't stop buying cars, but that's fine by me. Always work with family. Now, my cousin from the United States is in a very lucky position. He's now living here in Bucharest. He works with us, and he essentially works with us forever. As long as we're making money, he's going to be here and he's part of the team. When I first met him, he was 5 years old. I didn't see him again until he was 19. Now, when he was 19, he was smart. He had it all going on, but he was a bit privileged. His mother was a very well-to-do woman, a best-selling author in the field of political science and a university professor. And he was at university, everything was getting paid for him. I thought, okay, he's not from the same world as me. But then things started going wrong for him. He was sleeping on a floor, delivering pizzas, living the kind of life I remember. So after 2 years of what I call the struggle, I thought, okay, it's time to bring Luke back in. And Luke is now a member of our team, as he is a member of our family. Now, I understand not everybody has brothers. Not everybody has cousins. You may be an only child. You may be an orphan. I don't know what you are. But everyone's got those people. Those people that are so valuable to you that you wouldn't stab them in the back for $1 billion and 1,000 women. Those are the people you want to work with. As long as you are sure that they share your sentiments, those are the people you want to team up with. Pool your resources, live in the same house. If you're broke, if you're both working dead-end jobs, rent one room together if need be. If you're good friends, if you meet a woman, tell them to take a walk for an hour and come back. That is one of the keys to mine and Andrew's success.
Lesson 5, command respect. Now, what I want to do in the 100 points, this 100 tenets of business, is I don't want to talk too much about the fluffy bullshit that all the other millionaires talk about and teach, because what they're really doing is copping out. So it's very easy for Tai Lopez, who has no real business skill. Tai Lopez doesn't know anything about business, to say, you get rich by reading books, because it sounds easy. Then everyone goes, oh, really? Okay, I'll read books. It sounds easy, but it's not true. And think positive, you'll get rich. That's not true either. But some things are true. And number 5, this is true. Command respect. This is true. So I'll give you an example. We're going to go back to Dan, the T2 guy. So I still talk to Dan sometimes now, and he's a good guy. He's got a good heart, but he just loves drugs. Some people do. One of the reasons I'm good at business is because I command respect. And I command respect because I'm a physical specimen of a man. This is the reality. I'm a professional fighter. So this helps me, whether I'm running my webcam girls or whether I was pitching television advertising. There's a level of respect humans have for other humans who are a physical specimen. Dan is a big black guy. The way Dan sold and acted and treated staff, he could get away with that he couldn't get away if he was an obese white guy. Because there's something evolutionary about humans, and if you're a person who's viewed as strong, people respect you and people trust you. If you want to run a business and you want people to spend money with you, one of the best things you can do is go to the gym. Tell you the truth. Get in fucking physical shape, and people will see, okay, well, he's obviously not afraid of hard work. He's obviously disciplined. There's some things that are spoken without being spoken. There's a word for it that will come to me. And having a physical presence is one of them. It helps in business every possible way. If I stand up, when I used to stand up to sell TV advertising in front of people and say, I guarantee you spend $19,000 with me. I guarantee you spend $19,000 with me, you get double back. When they see your product on TV, a product like this, it's going to sell. Do you sell online? Yeah. Where else do you sell? Tesco, Sainsbury's. Oh, you're in the superstores as well. You're going to make twice your money back, guaranteed. If I say that as a big, strong guy who they could tell, obviously trained really hard, was disciplined, was not afraid of hard work, that was more valuable than if I was a fat piece of shit. It's going to work. I'm like, well, what the fuck do you know? You just eat pizza. You don't know anything. Go to the gym. Command a physical presence. I'm not saying you have to beat anyone up. I'm saying if you command a physical presence, your words have more weight and it helps in business across all things. Everything. Now, you can be successful without physical presence. There's a whole bunch of dorks who are successful. But I'm talking about what I know about business and what I've learned. This is the Hustlers University. And what I'm saying is it will help you. Even if you're Bill Gates and he was super successful and he's a dork, he would have been more successful if he was a big, strong dude. It's never going to detriment you to be bigger and stronger in life, and whether it's in business and every other aspect of life. Being bigger and stronger and commanding physical presence will always help you. It shows discipline. It shows that you understand hard work, and it makes your word more valuable. And sometimes in business, all you've really got is your word. You have to promise people shit and they have to believe you. So if you do that as a big, strong dude, people just believe you more. This is just the harsh reality. This is the Hustlers University. I told you it's no nonsense. It's no garbage. If you want to run a company, start going to the gym, get big, get strong. It's going to help you make money. Sooner or later, I guarantee you it's going to help you make money. This is point 5. Don't neglect it because it's very, very true. Even if it only helps you 10%. 10% is a lot. 10% is the business. 10% is the difference between success and failure. 10% is the difference between a little bit of money and a lot of money. 10% is a huge difference. If you're selling, let's say you're selling $1 million of product and you got a 20% margin, that's 200K. If you had an extra 10% margin because you're the big, strong guy and you got 300K, bang, that's an extra 100 grand a year. That's a fucking 911. That's a Porsche. There's a big difference. It's a big difference. So do not neglect number 5 because it's real. Check the guns. Would you, and here, let me prove the point. Would you have bought this course? You bought this course because I'm Andrew Tate. You trust me. You've obviously looked at me and you go, you know what? I've something about this guy. He knows something. I trust him. Would you have still bought this course if I was morbidly obese? Genuine question. I know it's an extreme, but it's a question. If I was morbidly obese in my chair and very, very fat, I'm going to teach you about business. Would you have bought the course? Or would you have thought, fuck you, fat fuck, you don't know nothing? And if you're honest with yourself, you'd think, yeah, you're probably right. I wouldn't have bought from you if you were obese. So that's the extremes. I'm a professional fighter, obese. These are extremes. But the extremes prove the point. The closer you are to in good physical condition, the more likely you are to be respected, and the more likely you are to be able to say things and people believe you. So, get in physical shape. That's point 5. Commanding respect is always going to be able to help you throughout life, especially in business.